All right, in this video, I'm going to be giving you a demo of Rapid Inventory. It's a software that connects to QuickBooks to help you manage your inventory across multiple warehouses, multiple locations. It's the simplest and easiest to use, and I would say the most cost-effective solution for managing your inventory. There's no upfront costs, no upfront expenses, no big, bills, fees. It's month to month, very easy. We'll get into it later in this video, but it can pretty much do everything in a very easy and automatic way. So the way it works is if you have QuickBooks Desktop and you have merchandise in your warehouse, if you'd like to receive purchase orders and put them in locations, if you want to do item assemblies, if you have multiple warehouses and you want to track your inventory across multiple warehouses, if you have sales orders and you want to have fulfillment lists, pick lists to be able to fulfill sales orders by location, if you want to use barcode scanners to make sure there's no mistakes when they retrieve and they pull the inventory off the shelf. All of this is inside of Rapid Inventory. It keeps your inventory levels 100% accurate. We have all sorts of other features like printing labels. You can do inventory counts to make sure your inventory is 100% accurate. We'll get into that. And the most important thing is that it automatically connects to QuickBooks. So there's no need to double enter things. There's no need to go back and forth between QuickBooks. We have an automatic connection, which I'll show you. And what this does is anytime you create a sales order in QuickBooks, the sales order automatically shows up in Rapid Inventory. You pick the order in Rapid Inventory and you complete it. You get all the stuff from the locations. After that, you hit complete. It goes automatically back to QuickBooks as an invoice. We'll get into that later in this video. The other things that I'd like to cover is the multiple warehouse locations, multiple locations in a single warehouse. We have stock rotation. We do things like first in, first out. We can do by expiration date, first expiring, first out. You can track things by lot number or serial number. We have barcode scanning, and we have easy to manage recalls using lot numbers to see which customer received which product, and the automatic integration between QuickBooks and Rapid Inventory. So let's get into it. Rapid Inventory, you can see here, it's very easy. You can add all the users into this website. You don't need to download You don't really need to download anything in order to use Rapid Inventory. You just visit this website, and you can see here across the top, you have Home, which just shows you a little bit of a dashboard of sales orders, purchase orders, and then this is what we were speaking about before when it comes to receiving inventory, picking, shipping, and labels. And we also have reports. And as you go through this software, it's worth pointing out over here that there's a little question mark on each page on the top right. And if you click it, it'll give you a explanation. Yeah, if you click it, it'll give you an explanation of what you're seeing on the page. But again, it's very easy to use, not too complicated. Let's start in inventory. So in inventory, you could see here I have a demo account open. John's Fruits. This is a fruit company. They sell apples and oranges, and you can see the warehouse is in a place called New City. If I'd like to change warehouses, you just click here and you can change between warehouses. You can see right now I only have one warehouse. I can switch between them if I had additional warehouses. Let's go back here. Yep, and just to show you here the most important on hand. Yep, okay, yeah, you can see here, when I click apples, I can have 100, and I can have 100 of them in the general location. But now what if, right here, yeah, we can move them between locations. So So if I click view here, what I'm able to do is I can move this, let's say to A1. I can move 50, right? I can go back here, and you can always go back. It shows you exactly where you are here. You can see I have 50 in location A1 and 50 in location general, which could just be your floor, your receiving area. But this is very easy to move inventory around. We have all sorts of tools to move things, moving between locations, moving things between warehouses, doing inventory counts. All of these features are inside of Rapid Inventory. And I also want to add, Rapid Inventory has been around for over 15 years, used by hundreds of customers who've been using this every single day. And it's reliable, it's stable, it works, and it's 100% accurate. The next thing I'd like to show you is receiving. Let's do a receiving a purchase order. So let's go to QuickBooks and let me walk you through how you would create a purchase order and receive it through Rapid Inventory. So I'm inside of QuickBooks here. You can see here I made it as a smaller window. This way we can see Rapid Inventory in the background. Let's go to vendors and create purchase order. Now let's choose our vendor, fruit vendor, item. Let's say we had an item here. We want to receive 200 oranges. Now, if we go to Rapid Inventory and we go to purchase orders, you can see here the purchase order did not appear yet. However, what's happening in the background, every 5 minutes, we sync automatically between QuickBooks and Rapid Inventory. I'll just click this update button just to speed up the process. Okay, that took about 30 seconds. Again, this will happen just every 5 minutes automatically. No need to do anything. I'm just speeding it up here. Now, if you go back to receiving again, you now see this. If I go back to home, you can see there's one active purchase order. And I go to receiving, I can see this purchase order here. I click view, and it has 200 ordered. Now, the way we receive is we can receive with a bill, or we can create a receipt without a bill. For this demo, I'll just receipt with a bill. This way I can track who I owe money, and this bill will automatically be created inside of QuickBooks. So let's click create receipt with a bill, and you can see here automatically, and we can change this in the settings. We can have everything move to your general, right? That's your floor. When you receive merchandise to your receiving area, that could be general. Or in this example, what we can do is change all to A2. They're all received to A2. Now the reference number for the bill, what we can do is, let's say the purchase order, we can do ABC and -2 as the reference number, and then confirm receipt. That's confirmed. And what you see inside of Rapid Inventory is that we created a receipt here. And what that will do is the next time we sync, it will automatically mark it as received in QuickBooks and automatically create a bill. So if I go to QuickBooks, I received 200. You can see here this is updated to received in full. Let me just move this. Yep. And you can see here there's a bill. If we find this is exactly, let me just X that out. The bill was automatically created here with that reference number. I like to do a number and then I do a dash with the purchase order. This way I can easily know which purchase order belongs to it. The bill here is received, and now if I go to let's say my item list, I can see here my inventory also updated. Now I have 190. That's because we had a back order. Now you can see here the inventory is 190 and we have 100 of apples. Now let's talk about, right, and if I go to my inventory just to show you here, I can do inventory by location or inventory by item, but I can see here the oranges. Yeah, I can see here now, first in, first out date. On August 21, I received in location A2, I have 200. Now let's move on to picking. Let's create a sales order together and let's see how that works between QuickBooks and Rapid Inventory. So I'm going to go to my customers. I'm going to create a sales order and I'm going to select one of my sample customers. I selected a customer. Now I can select, let's say, those oranges. Let's say those oranges we now sold. Someone purchased 50 oranges. You can see here, now the order is $350. My mistake. When we head back to Rapid Inventory, we hit sales order and we can see this order for $350, this fruit customer, and we hit view. You can also hit the number, which opens up the sales order. You can see here, you can create pick lists on a scanner, which we'll get to, or you can create pick list, which we'll do for this demo, just to show you how it works. Create pick list on paper. Create pick list on paper. You can see here, we just created a pick list and it shows you go take from location A2. This is the location that is first in, first out and has a 50 units. You could even assign it to a picker. We also have, you can add ship tags, ship dates, transaction dates. And then this pick list, if they go ahead, if you can always print it too, that's worth pointing out. Here, you print it. I'll show you what it looks like. Yeah. They have a paper that they can print here, and then they can fill out on the side how much they got from that location, or they just put a check if they'd like to show that they got all the inventory. And you're able to add notes here. But let's say, let's say they found the 50. You can always edit the quantity if it was 50 or if it was less, or you got it from a different location. Everything is editable. After you complete the pick list, you can also print a packing list if you want to print a summary. I'll just show you what it looks like here. 50 ordered, 50 shipped. This is all part of this this pick list. And then after you're complete, you can create an invoice. When you create an invoice, yeah, right here, it's beautiful. Once an invoice is created for a pick list, it will be posted. The inventory will be removed from the warehouse and it cannot be undone. Please click on the OK button to continue or cancel to abort the request. So here, what's going to happen when I click OK is the inventory from here is now going to become an invoice, and the inventory will be 50 less, right? Because we're picking it from the location. We click OK. And this now, if we go to the sales order, you'll see now that the pick list is complete. There's even a shipment that was created and that goes along with this. If we go back to the inventory as well, just to see in this location, there's 150 less. And now when we go back to QuickBooks, we're in QuickBooks, you could see here now it's invoiced in full and it's complete. And if I can find, right here, the recent transaction, you can see the invoice to the fruit customer. Invoiced is $350. The inventory as well inside of QuickBooks now shows 140. You could see it went down by 50. So everything is synced, connected between QuickBooks and rapid inventory. And this is how you move between things that happen in the warehouse and updating QuickBooks. This allows you to accurately track all of your inventory between multiple warehouses, between multiple locations. There's all sorts of other features in here that I didn't get to. There's fast pick, there's fulfillment worksheets, there's counter sales, there's vendor returns. Even in shipping, you can batch invoice things. There's also a way to print labels if you need. There's a whole on that. And then the other thing that I'd like to show you is that in the settings, whenever you move inventory around, everything is kept as history. So you're able to click this thing called audit logs, and you're able to see who moved what at which date. So you can, if you have multiple employees in the warehouse, you're able to see who's doing what, and it keeps everything clear, and you can follow up and see who took specific actions at which times in the system. This allows you to track all of the inventory.